Are you opposed to learning tips for your communication skills? No? Well, good, because I got one for you. Get to know first. There is this train of thought that you want to give questions to people where they constantly are saying yes throughout your talk track, that eventually, whenever you do ask them for whatever it is that you truly want, that they will feel comfortable saying yes because they've said yes so many times in a row. However, we people have been bombarded with so much in our emails and our daily lives that people asking, people taking that information, that old tactic, and trying to get you to say yes, that we know it. And then, in fact, it also has made us scared to say yes because we're wondering what comes after that. So I read a book by Chris Voss, and it was called Split the Difference. And he talked about having people say no first. Get people to tell you no. Once they begin to tell you no, then you're getting those out of the way, and then that way, whenever you do come to ask, they will say yes. And one of the ways in which he did that, which I adopted and I use almost every single day, I definitely use it when I'm out visiting customers and in my sales communication, is I use the word opposed. See, people do not like to be opposed or against things. And it also gets you to a no. In fact, Chris Voss said that you want to get to about 7 no's before somebody really feels comfortable in saying yes. So I always start with, it could be for an email communication on the phone. So would you be opposed to me coming for a visit? Well, no, of course I wouldn't be opposed. Okay, cool. What's the time and day? Well, and they give me the time and day. When I'm there, just when I was there this past week in Northern Washington, I'd ask people if they were opposed to looking at our website, looking at the company I work for and comparing against the companies that they're already using. Would you be opposed to doing that? Well, no, I wouldn't. Well, perfect. Now that they're not opposed, I can send them information and they're not opposed to looking at that. So using that word opposed or against is one of the best ways to get some no's out of the way so you can get a yes. I'd love to have you give it a try. Actually, no. Would you be opposed to giving it a try? Let me know how it works out.